Hello, my name is Henriette and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'd love to have you here. This video is all about our outdoor kitchen, and we decided to cover this because we're in the UK and it rains a lot and we want to be able to use it as much as possible despite the weather. We chose this kitchen before we even built the building, so the building is built to fit around the kitchen, and we chose this specific kitchen because it's almost like a real kitchen. It's got the grill, it's got a sink, it's got a cooker, and it's also got a fridge. Our first job did require the professionals, and this was because we wanted to have a stainless steel backsplash and a stainless steel panel at the front near the bottom, just to prevent all the leaves and stuff from blowing underneath the kitchen. This is very much a dream thing for us to have an outdoor kitchen. We spend a lot of time outside, so for us this means the world, and we wanted to make sure we got a high-end finish. It's a few weeks later and our steel man has come back to do the fitting, and it did require quite a lot of little cuts and little bits of measuring. It took some time to get this fitted. We have a couple of electrical sockets in our kitchen, and here's our steel man cutting out the holes for those. When I designed this garden and designed this kitchen, including the kitchen building, I made sure that we ran electrics, Wi-Fi, and also water all the way down the garden in order to build this kitchen. If you are considering having an outdoor kitchen yourself, I would definitely take these things into account. And please also note that things like having an extra fridge does cost more on the electric bill. We have also installed a water heater here under the sink so that we can have hot water, and that also costs more money. Just things to bear in mind if you do a project like this. And because our outdoor kitchen is covered, we also installed an extraction fan, just to be on the safe side. We don't want to get all smoked up. Once the stainless steel is cut into the exact right size, it is then glued onto the walls. This wooden shelf, if you like, at the back of our kitchen, we had to install it because there wasn't enough room for us to open the grill. But I'm really pleased with how this turned out because it gives us a bit of extra work surface. There isn't that much of that in this outdoor kitchen. We also decided to have the backsplash continue around the corners, just for a bit of extra protection and just as the same depth as the kitchen. I also think this makes it all look a bit more finished. I will put a link to this kitchen in the comments box below, just in case you're interested. The company this came from has a huge selection of outdoor kitchens, so plenty of choice. The building itself I designed together with our joinerer, and actually it was such a fun project to do, and I'm so pleased with how it all turned out. And finally, it was time to fit the kitchen kickboard, which is also made of stainless steel. No more room for the leaves and all the rubbish to go underneath the kitchen anymore. It is the next day and it was finally time for me to get stuck in. And I'm going to start off by hanging a couple of shelves. When you hang shelves like these up, you need to make sure that you drill into the joists as best as you can. So I'm using a joist finder to find them and mark them up. I also ensure that I measure twice just to be on the safe side. As this kitchen is very black and very stainless steel, I chose these wooden shelves because it will soften the whole look a bit. I also really like these iron brackets that the shelves came with, but I'll link them below in the comment box just in case you're interested. I really enjoy doing all the finishing touches myself. It's so rewarding in a way. Before I hung these shelves, I did play around with them a little bit to see if it looked better with one above the other or next to each other at the side of the building, but this is where I ended up. I'd also bought a couple of hand-hammered iron hooks that I'm going to hang up in the kitchen too. Bought these on a trip to Banbury where we celebrated one of our friends' 50 years birthday party, so they're not only nice but they also come with really good memories. Finally, it was time to remove the plastic on the stainless steel. We'd left it on there overnight just to ensure that the glue was 100% dry. This job is super satisfying. I mean, it's just lovely to peel it off and see that brand new, lovely looking stainless steel. I buffed the rest of the kitchen up using baby oil, and I've got to say it's come up looking really well. Time to find some accessories for our outdoor kitchen. And those of you who watch my channel regularly will know that I've already found some really good thrift finds. I'll be sure to leave a link to that video in the comments box below. I didn't really know specifically what I was looking for, but I do know I'll know it when I find it. As I'm shopping for a kitchen which is outside, I wanted to find things which were natural looking. I mean, it's got to sit right next to all the plants and the trees, so it seemed fitting. I really like this vase, but I decided to leave it behind because I've made something very similar myself. It's finally time to begin to accessorize our kitchen, and this makes such a big change to any space. When it comes to styling, I usually gather a whole load of things together just to give me lots of choice, and then I basically start playing around, and I don't always get it right the first time. Some of you will recognize some of these items from my previous video where I went thrifting, but I basically have gathered a whole load of things which look quite natural, which is the look that I'm going for. I've also chosen off-whites instead of pure whites because I want it to be sort of toned down and not too stark against the black. When I style shelves, I like to group things together or stack them because it creates a bit of visual interest, and that's kind of what you want. Of course, here I'm also using a lot of items which we will actually be using when we are in the kitchen. As you can see here, I'm forever moving things around, and I keep doing it until it suddenly falls into place. I don't want too much stuff on these shelves because I feel that we might be cleaning whatever is on them every time we use the kitchen. It was about at this point that I realised that nearly every single item I was trying to put on the shelves were round, and of course that makes it very hard to style. So using things like the chopping board underneath this jug, that really works. And I also ended up placing glasses in neat rows because that kind of creates a square. And finally, I also added some cooking books, again, to get something square. I mean, it's just added interest when you have different shapes. I also wanted to accessorize our work surface, and this was the vase that I wanted to use, which was similar to the one that I saw in the shop. And I really like it in this corner. Again, I'm playing around with all my items, trying them out in different positions until I finally feel that they're in the right place. I also moved down all the bits that we are going to need whilst we're barbecuing or cooking down here. So things like these tongs and knives, chopping boards, glasses, plates, etc., etc. This gorgeous leather apron and the mitts came from the kitchen company, and I love them. I can't begin to tell you just how nice it is to finally be putting some things into this kitchen. We had it all fitted last year but never got the chance to finish it, so this is super satisfying. And now the kitchen is finally finished and I can't wait to show you. I couldn't wait to start cooking in this kitchen. So we've invited some friends over and I've popped down to the fish counter. I ended up buying some scallops and I couldn't resist the side of salmon. So I got a side and a half for our barbecue. The rest of my food shopping was less shopping and more gathering. And of course, I used our vegetable garden for the rest. All our hard work earlier in the year has now paid off, and we can literally pick so many fresh vegetables now. It's just fantastic. I think a freshly picked salad and some newly dug up potatoes is going to work just perfectly with the salmon. I try my very best to stay healthy and to stay fit. It is getting harder and harder the older I get. But having these organic vegetables in our garden surely must help. But before I start cooking, I wanted to set a special fishy kind of table. I'm using a baby blue table runner, one that I've made quite a few years ago. And then I'm going to be using the same straw mats that I've used so many times before. I think you can spend so much money on things and then you don't know where to store them. So for me, it's good to reuse. I'm going to be using our blue glasses to tie in with the fishy theme. I also made the matching blue napkins, and I'm just going to use a simple straw napkin ring like I've done before. I think all table settings deserve some florals, and this time I'm going to use the garden. I'm going to pick some wildflowers from our wildflower meadow patches. I've mentioned before how I have a special love for jugs, and it turned out that I actually have 3 jugs which are fish related. I decided to use 2 of them for flowers, and the third one I'll fill up with drinking water. I've filled these storm lights with a bit of play sand, and now I'm just going to add some seashells. I like that this table has a bit of a theme, but I don't want it to be too fishy, so I'm just going to add a few more seashells and a starfish, and of course these glass buoys that I showed you in my previous video. And all there's left is my 3rd jug, and this one is super special. It's shaped like a sea urchin. Time to light the candles, and I think that's all it needs. Then it was time to get started on some cooking, and I'm going to prepare the salmon first, and I want to show you just how easy it is to do some barbecued salmon. I lay out a double piece of foil, and then I place my fish on top, and then I cut some unwaxed lemons and place them nicely on the fish. I add some thyme and some parsley, freshly cut from the garden, and some seasoning, and then it's just a bit of olive oil. Wrap them up and place them on the barbecue. It is that easy. Whilst I'm cooking, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe. It means the world to me, and of course it helps my channel. I absolutely love hearing from you. I can't begin to describe to you how lovely it is to cook in our outdoor kitchen. We've waited a long time for this moment. We try and do as many things as we can in our lives to make us happy, and cooking outside and spending time with friends and family absolutely tops that list. That's all from me today. I'm going to leave you with some videos from our gathering and a few from our garden. Have an absolutely fantastic week, and I'll see you soon. Much love from London.